Hi there everyone, I'm Laura Brown, the founder and director of the Flagstaff Yoga Festival and the founder of Successful Spirit Summit. I'm going to share a marketing model with you today, which is a model that I use in all of my wellness and spirituality businesses, including Flagstaff Yoga Festival. I think this has made the difference for me between just being just another event that does okay and what has happened in reality at Flagstaff Yoga Festival. How did we fill the largest hotel in northern Arizona with 1,000 people over 3 days without doing any traditional marketing? I'm going to show you what we did. So this is the model for business success for any sort of spiritual or energetic endeavor. I call it the Successful Spirit Blueprint. Okay? So success. What is success, right? What does this look like, really? Well, in any business, I truly believe, and you probably do too, that the whole thing, the whole reason that you're doing what you're doing in the first place should just be this massive, embrace of the heart from the get-go. If you're not doing what you truly love, what your true passion is in the world, then you need to do some soul searching, right? But so this is where we start. We start with this idea, this assumption that we're all going to be doing something that we truly have a calling to do. Within that, there's a few key components that I do assess for people. There's two eyes that go up here. The first here is insight. Insight is so lacking for many of us because we get so caught up in the dream of what we're doing that sometimes we don't want to check in. I've known so many people who just have this fascinating dream to open a yoga studio, or to open a new age bookstore, or to open a life coaching business, and they so aspire to that they don't check in and do the market research. They own a store in Sedona because they've always wanted to own a store like that in Sedona. So the question then becomes, is that really a business? Or is it just a hobby that gets to run along by itself until the money runs out? Unfortunately for a lot of people, that lack of insight, that's kind of where it gets them to. So insight includes a few things. Honestly, it does include more than market research, surveying your audience, getting a sense of what the need in the market is. Yeah, hungry buying market is totally important and a part of insight. But the other thing that comes into play with insight is also there's just this internal sense of checking in. If we were all checked in as high a way as we could be with our own internal wisdom, we wouldn't goof up in the market anyway. The market research, it can sort of just be like a mirror for what we internally already know. So I think it's important to do both. I mean, this includes meditative practices, it includes a lot of breathing exercises and tools that you can get to check in and really get a good sense of what your gut truly is telling you. It also does include the market research. So in Successful Spirit Summit, we teach you how to do both. And in our online trainings, we're also going to teach you how to do both because they're all a part of insight. So we've got it in here. This is insight, right? Then what happens? We need to be inspired by something bigger than ourselves. Now the piece of the puzzle, an important one, inspiration. If we're too internal and we don't have anything higher than ourselves to aspire to or to fight for, that can be a loss, right? Perhaps not if you live on a mountain in India, then you're sort of a monk, you're kind of always in here in your own insightful thing. But for most of us, we live in the Western world, we're walking, off the mat into the world, right? We're trying to get our vision into something larger than ourselves. If that's helping out a non-profit group, great. If that's helping someone return to vibrant health after a journey with cancer, wonderful. If it's telling people, some great aspects of their natal chart, if you're an astrologer, that's inspiring to you because you're inspiring others. So there's always something that comes into play here that's bigger than ourselves. This in the business world, okay, if this is the market, right, this is the opportunity over here. I think we need both. And so when I'm coaching a client, I very often will look at both there. So in the middle here though, insight and inspiration alone, is that enough to run a business? Probably not. I mean, what I see a lot especially with yogis and massage therapists, guys, I love you, I'm one of you, but this just, it's got to change, it drives me absolutely bonkers, is we'll have these wonderful ideas of our own truth and what would be great to do in the world, but we have no concept of how to actually draw this down into reality in a good sense and start actually doing the work in a meaningful way. So that's where the rest of this comes in. And I draw a little chart here because these guys really do correlate to each other really well. Up here, we have skills. Skills include, have you built your website appropriately? Are you building a list on your website to go market to? How's your design on your website? It also includes your own business skills. If you need to go do if you're a massage therapist and an awesome Thai massage opportunity comes up with Jason Temkin in Tucson, you got to go take that new training. That's a skill for you too, right? But the skills also include business skills, outreach skills, right? Like web promotions, are you optimizing on the search engines out there? That if you're a massage therapist in Tucson, Arizona, you bet I'm going to be telling you how to rank when people Google Tucson massage therapist, how to get yourself in those rankings on that first page. No one looks past the first page anymore. If you're not on there, you're kind of out of luck a lot of the time with the search engine rankings. But the other thing there is not just rankings, but what about any advertising that you do? What does that look like now in the new economy? It looks very different. So that's a skill that we need to build for you. It's not as hard as it seems either. It's extremely doable. There's no sort of web genius going on here. That's another myth that we need to break, is that the internet is so hard and only the young kids can do it. Well, I'm probably younger than a lot of you guys, but honestly, I can sit down with a 50, 60-year-old or even 70-year-old, and I have, and teach them how to do a website pretty quickly and effectively. So I'd love to show that part of the model to you guys in more depth, actually, because that's usually where most of us need some work. So there's skills here. Down here, there's something else. Action. So we can study or train or go to seminars all we want, or learn how to do a website all we want, learn how to do a CPC ad campaign all we want, learn how to leverage our social network all we want. But if we don't actually walk with that into the world, it's never going to happen for us, right? So that sense of action also includes, this is the asana practice in yoga as well, or it's, doing breath of fire to get your energy up so you can just go. Right? Because a lot of us, we're back here and we need to just go. So energetically, there is a component to action that we'll be doing a lot with at the summit. That's what makes this event so cool, is that we're not just going to be talking, we're going to be doing. And we're going to be changing our physiology and kinesiology and our hardwiring so that all of this becomes way easier for us to do. I'm so excited about that. I mean, I know of no other business training out there that's going to integrate the energetic arts like we're going to do at Successful Spirit Summit. So that's pretty cool. But the action here also includes your sense of a map of your own personal productivity, right? If we don't do things in the correct order, if we don't know when to set the date of our next event or workshop, if we have no idea when to actually advertise, when to spit out a Facebook campaign. Do we do that at noon when everyone's on their lunch break? Maybe if we're running a tea house and we want everyone to come visit on the lunch hour, but more often than not, you want to do it when everyone's home at 5 o'clock, right? Or 7 o'clock. That's actually optimum, right? We're still kind of in that prime time zone for reaching our consumers a lot of the time. So, I mean, there's things like that strategy of implementing that productivity that comes into play. What's the best use of your time? What's the best project for you to focus on right now? What do you do first? When you have all of this in place, what happens next? What's the next action? So this is a step that a lot of people miss, and without a real clear vision of what the next action is, they're kind of flailing. So, but the thing here is, what happens with your success, this is success, it is directly proportionate to the balance that you have between your skill set and your action set. So this is kind of the big overview of what I look at and what I start to see needs to change in some regard with every client. They come in maybe with a high dose of inspiration, but no idea of a market to put that into, or a way of implementing, or the tools that they need to have to implement it. Or they come in with a strong sense of implementation, but of what, right? Or they come in with a massive skill set, but they've lost sight of what's important to them. You know, there's always something that people need to be working on, and these are pretty much the moving pieces. Of course, all of this also needs to come from this place of total heart and integrity. I won't work with anyone who doesn't come there. That's why I'm so jazzed to be talking to you guys today, because I know that every single person out there probably is coming from that place of heart. That's the only people that we'll deal with. So what we're going to be doing in the training that you can sign in for. Oh yeah, I should probably tell you about that. So there's this really cool training that I put together. This is a warm-up. This is the framework that I'm working within in the training. I have a 90-minute training to give to you for free today. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I want to lead people in our industries in inspirational, energetic, healing arts or wellness industries to this map so that they can start working within the collaborative economy, having all of this in place, having a broad understanding of what's going on, what it takes to market themselves. If we can do that as an industry, the whole game changes. It's going to be this groundswell, this revolution from the ground up of these people who now are totally inspired and totally equipped to run in the new collaborative marketplace that we have to run in. If we can equip each other with all of the tools we need, we're all going to be doing better. Because remember the collaborative model, right? So you build out your thing, but this is also someone else's market over here. And they're building out their thing, you're going to be doing better, they're going to be doing better, and we lift everyone up together. So with that said, I'm giving you guys a 90-minute training that goes a little more in depth on each of these fields. It leads you through specifically what skills I'm talking about you guys achieving, and some pointers on how to get those, where to seek those out, what actionable steps to take, how to figure out what the next step in your business should be from a logical place, how to get back into inspiration. Sure, if you don't have that, how to see market opportunities if you don't have that. How to get your insight, how to get your market research done, but also get a really good sense on a gut level of what a good idea really is, instead of just guesswork, right? So all of this is coming into play in the 90-minute training that I want to give you, and I think it will just take your businesses to a whole other level. It's going to help you in a sense too of many of us are just kind of swimming around in the dark so much, especially in wellness and spirituality. Is this a good idea? I don't know, I like it, let's try it, you know? But there's more certainty that you can bring to it, which is going to lead you into a whole new area of confidence and competence with your business. So I'd love you to watch the 90-minute seminar where we go into a lot of this in a lot more depth. If you're not there already, here's how to get the seminar. You go to www.successfulspiritsummit.com, and if you send me your email address there, I can pop that seminar right in your inbox and you can view it right from your computer. It's in video format, a lot like this has been, only way more detail. So it's a fabulous training. I hope you guys all get to enjoy it. It's my gift to you. It's only going to be up for a limited time. It's only going to be up for about the next 7 days. So do go grab it before we take it down, and we will see you at successfulspiritsummit.com.